Guys, today I finally get to drive my car. I'm inside of my E36 and I'm at home. I'm gonna be driving to Adam's house now so I can keep working on Nicole's car. It's like a little... I kept this because I don't have a factory mirror, so the car came with this little Broadway mirror thing, so I think it's kind of cool. I want to see if I can install this later too, so I can have the woofers connected as well. Since I will be using my BIGBOOST steering wheel, I'm gonna use my racing energy glove as well, so I don't damage this weight. Now let's take it for a spin and see what this thing can do. Everything, so it's expected to add road noise and drivetrain noise. I already want to hear if they can see, you can hear the turbos. DRIFTCAR that's not too low, so I can go over these with no problem. Normally people would think, oh my god, it's gonna hit. Nope, not hitting today. Oh, this one's taller. And it's still clear. This is where I'm going to eat right now. My favorite place every single day. I eat here every single day before coming to Adam's house for the whole summer. Guys, this day couldn't get any better. I got to drive my car, and on top of that, look what came in the mail. I got sponsored by GARRETT. This is the biggest achievement I could possibly make being BIGBOOST, since my channel is all about turbocharging cars. It doesn't get any better than this, being able to join the Turbobygarrett family. I am really excited about being to work with them, and especially to be able to run one of their turbos on my car. Same as most drivers on Formula Drift, they're all running GARRETT turbos, so these super high horsepower cars, and also the circuit racing cars, drag racing cars, you name it. Pretty much the best cars that you will see performing out on the racetrack today are running on a GARRETT GTX turbo. Guys, one thing you should know, the way the engine works, the more air and fuel you can feed into the engine, the more power it will generate. That's where turbochargers come in place, where exhaust gases from the engine flow into the exhaust housing of the turbo. Exhaust gases flow into the turbine housing of the turbo, spinning the exhaust wheel, which is connected by a shaft to the compressor wheel, sucks fresh air and compresses it into the engine, creating boost. When you create boost, you're adding more air, which then you have to compensate with additional fuel and then there's more air burning through the engine, which generates more output. Now I'm going to talk to you about the components of a turbocharger. First, we will start with the ball bearings. It's the highlighted number 1 on the illustration. It supports and controls a rotating group. So the shaft is supported by the ball bearing or journal bearing depending on your turbocharger. The second one in the illustration will be the oil inlet. This is where you feed engine oil through the turbo to lubricate the internal parts, which will be the bearings. Number 3 will be the turbine housings. This is where the exhaust gas will go through and spin the exhaust wheel. Number 4 will be the turbine wheel. It converts exhaust energy into shaft power to drive the compressor. The turbine wheel converts exhaust energy into shaft power to drive the compressor. Since the exhaust wheel and the compressor wheel are connected through a shaft, the exhaust moves the turbine wheel and moves it and then rotates the compressor wheel to generate boost. Number 5 will be the center housing. It supports everything. It supports a rotating group and the turbine housing and compressor housing attached to that as well. Number 6 will be the oil outlet. This is where your drain fitting will connect and you will drain the oil from the turbo back into the oil pan. Number 7 will be the compressor housing. This is the part that collects the compressed air and directs it to the engine. The compressor wheel is inside of that and it will compress the air through the housing and feed it to the engine. Number 8, the compressor wheel. It pumps air into the engine. And last, number 9 will be the back plate. It supports the compressor housing, provides aerodynamic surface. This is the plate that attaches to the center cartridge and then the compressor housing bolts onto that. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about Garrett history and why I chose Garrett. The heritage of the turbo business began in 1936 when young Cliff Garrett formed his company in a tiny one-room office in LA. With encouragement and financial support from friends like Jack Northrop and Harry Wetzel on his own, Garrett founded the company and would later become the Garrett Corporation. Number of employees 1, customers 1. Today that business couldn't be more different. Over time, the turbocharger business spun off to establish itself as a serious player in the engine boosting industry. The fact that Garrett turbochargers are the preferred choice of leading original equipment manufacturers and many top race teams in kart, World Rally, American Le Mans, 24 hours of Le Mans. Pikes Peak is a telling example. Not only that, but they use it in road racing, on drift, daily driven vehicles, you name it. And also it's a really big name in drag racing. I can't believe Garrett makes over 30,000 turbos every day. That's a lot of turbos. Why did I choose Garrett? Not only these are the best turbochargers, they're the longest licensing, they're the best quality products you can use for drifting as well. Since I am building a drift car. Like I said before, even Adam is gonna be running one on his car, which I talked him into getting the best of the best.
I already had a Garrett too, so this is my second Garrett.
Oh, your second Garrett, like, oh, look at you, like. So, yeah, also even the turbo that's on Nicole's car right now is a factory Garrett turbocharger.
I didn't know that, that's cool.
Yeah, the S15 has a factory T28 Garrett, and it's gonna get, this turbo is actually gonna go on the S15.
We might put a Garrett in the BMW too. It's a Garrett family.
Yeah, and then this one is going on the BMW too. You should get one of these. These are great.
That's what I want, but I have a 3584 already.
Check out how nice is the ball bearing stuff. It's just, it spins forever. Right now it has a factory lubricant, so it's not like thin oil, so it will slow down faster than usual, but as soon as you run engine oil through this, it just spins forever. But on a real note, the main reason I chose Garrett turbochargers is because they have the leading edge technology and their turbos produce the power and handle the abuse from real life racing conditions and stuff. Adam, what are you doing? You almost caught me with the salsa. Now I can show you guys a quick walk around my car of what I ended up doing to fabricate this car to get it to this point. Here's what the car looks like outside. The front bumper is finally installed. I got my iconic Hypergram 8 wheels wrapped on Achilles 123 race tires. I got BC coilovers. They are true coilover setup, which I custom made. They were made originally for the E46 race car, and now I'm running them on this car. You'll notice that on my suspension setup, the front is a lot higher than the back. I like it this way because it provides more grip for drifting. I installed aero tail lights. They look actually very clean. I like how they look. It clean up the car. The car is black right now, but it will be blue in a few days once I start wrapping it. I really like how the roof came out. It's all carbon fiber wrapped now. It looks very weird because of the lighting, but in sunlight it looks very nice. The interior is filled with NRG products. I got NRG racing seats, harnesses. I got the harness bar, seat bracket. I got the racing gloves. I got the NRG hub, the quick release, and my very own BIGBOOST steering wheel. I have a hydraulic e-brake, which I have not installed completely yet. Still have to do the plumbing part, and I have to also do a dual caliper setup. The shifter is a billet shifter. I think it was a PMC, I think it still makes it. It's on the shifter, but I doesn't want to focus on it. I just love the way this car sits, and the exhaust looks beautiful on it. It's so loud as well. I really like how the exhaust came out, even though it's a custom made exhaust. The exhaust note is on point. On suspension, I got the DRIFTCAR control arms upper and lower. I got Condor Speed Shop subframe bushings, where there's these white ones right here. I also got their differential bushings as well. And for the trailing arm, I got the DRIFTCAR spherical trailing arm bushings. And from Condor Speed Shop again, I got the reinforcement plates for the subframe and trailing arm mounts. The trunk is still filled with some of the panels that I removed that I may want to keep, and the woofers that I want to install later, which I still have to wire it up. The white door, I already painted the inside black. Since I'm gonna be wrapping the outside blue, it doesn't matter, but I had the inside painted black so it matches the rest of the interior, which the interior is completely stripped, ready for a roll cage later down the road. I also deleted the sunroof using the stock sunroof panel and welded it together and then seam sealed it. Now for the most important part of the whole car, the engine. This is how it looks. Yes, I do have a little bit of a coolant leak, and it's from this hose right here. Seems to be have a little hole on the bottom. I already got a new one, but I haven't installed it yet. I'm running a 35R turbo, which I will be replacing with the Garrett unit. I really can't wait to see what it looks like. I have a tiled 44mm wastegate. It's mounted directly on the turbo, so it has optimal boost control. It doesn't create any boost spikes. I am running a ECU Master black ECU, which I have in a stock location. It's nice, clear out of the way, so I have a very clean engine harness, which I custom made for it. Got the electronic boost controller. I got a Mishimoto aluminum radiator. I forgot what brand it was, but I got the electric fan conversion as well for it. The engine is basically a stock S52 running a Cometic head gasket and ARP studs, and fully rebuilt using OEM components and Victorine gaskets. The engine has also been converted to OBD1, and I deleted the vanos. That's why you'll see this blue plug right here. And instead of using the vanos line, I welded on a NPT adapter so I can run my pressure sensor, and also got the adapter so I can run the turbo feed line from there. I do plan on running E85 later, so I have my E85 sensor right there, or ethanol content sensor. This will be the intake temperature sensor. I'm running a Tau Q 50mm blow valve. The exhaust manifold was custom made by me, as well as the downpipe. I wrapped everything with the titanium style exhaust wrap. It's all neat. And then I also wrapped the harness and tucked it away from the exhaust so it wouldn't get damaged. I also like using, I got an AEM heat sink bung, so it extends the lifetime of the O2 sensor. You can see the heat, it gets to that point, and then on this point it's a lot less, so it doesn't overheat the sensor when it's being closer to the turbo. Normally you have to mount the O2 sensor all the way down in the downpipe over there. I mounted it over there, but since I have the heatsink bung, I can mount it closer to the turbo and it extends the lifetime of the sensor. For the air filter to fit, I got a Burger Motorsports or Burger Tuning air filter, which is they're the only people who make this super short filter. It's also made of silicone, so it doesn't like burn up being attached to the turbo. Normally if you attach a regular rubber filter, it will melt and probably fall off the turbo. I got a front mount intercooler. I think it's a 27-inch long, 12-inch tall and 3-inch wide. I got 2.5-inch intercooler piping on the hot side and 3-inch intercooler piping custom made on the intake side. This pipe is one piece. It has a coupler right on the intercooler and one coupler on the throttle body. I try to use as less couplers as possible. Same thing on the compressor side. I did an aluminum elbow, as you can see right here, and then it has one coupler connecting the thing. So this side had to be two pieces because there was no way I could do it at one piece with the amount of bends that's on it. There is no better feeling than this. Right here I also have the data logger for the EMU. The EMU is in there. I also make this little hole so I can run the wires for the data logger and the computer, so I can also tune the car from inside without having to like go all the way on the engine bay. This car just sounds so good. I love the exhaust note. It sounds perfect. If you notice, it revs really quickly because I have a Fidanza aluminum flywheel installed. So it's less rotating mass, so it allows the engine to rev a lot faster. Now that my car is done, I can finally upload videos on a daily basis for you guys. I sacrificed a lot of video time so I could put a lot of work into this car so I could get it done. Now that it's finally done, I can finally get back on schedule and provide daily videos for you guys. Hope you guys love this video. It's a really big achievement for me. I finished my car, was able to drive it, and I also got sponsored by Turbobygarrett. It's such an honor to be working with such an awesome company. It means a lot since I'm Big Boost joined Turbobygarrett. This is great because now I can use hashtag TURBOLIFE on everything, which everything is about turbo and turbo is life. I will end this video now. Hope you guys enjoy the content. Please smash the like button and subscribe. I will see you guys tomorrow.